Welcome to today's podcast. I have another special guest today. Last time my daughter, Hailey, was on the podcast, there was amazing feedback, hugely positive feedback. So what I decided to do was do a full-on Q&A with Hailey today. So I brought my daughter. She's 19. She's moved out. She is moving on with her life and she's learning all of the adult things. And all of these questions are going to be answered by Hailey today. So Hailey, why don't you say hey?
Hey! Frugal Fit Mom Clan. What do you call your group of subscribers? Do you have a name?
Frugal Fit Fam?
Frugal Fit Fam? What up?
I'm so excited to ask Hailey some of these questions because I've wondered them myself. They were submitted via the Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, it is Frugal Fit Mom 6. I have tried to get Frugal Fit Mom as my official, but other people already have it.
Oh.
It was from the very beginning of my channel, like forever and ever ago. I've never been able to get it. Anyway, it's Frugal Fit Mom 6. If you see a different number, that's not me. even if it's my picture. I had I don't know if it was a bot, but like a copycat recently. It was like Frugal Fit Mom 1 and they took my picture.
Really?
I had to report them and then Instagram was like, nothing we can do, sorry. And I was like, they're using my picture. What do you do? It was so crazy. Anyway, if you have not subscribed to the podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, if you like the YouTube version with the video, subscribe so I know that you like it. Leave a review, tell your friends, all of the things. Hailey, the first question is, what is your favorite food?
Gumbo. I love Cajun food. So gumbo is up there for me. I'll enjoy also the occasional sushi roll.
I'm making gumbo tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Just wanted to throw that out there. Shrimp, sausage, and chicken.
It's so good.
I already made the roux. Someone asked me that once. Like, do I order the roux? No, I make it.
She makes it.
But you can do it in the oven. It's very hands-off.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a picky eater, so I like lots of foods, but gumbo and sushi, not together, but gumbo and sushi are like my top foods.
I'll echo that, ditto that. Hailey is probably the least picky eater. I think that was just luck. Honestly, sometimes people are like, how do I feed my picky kids? Hailey was not picky. She would literally eat anything. Mm-hmm. I'd make dinner and she'd just munch on lettuce sitting on the counter next to me. She'd eat anything.
That sounds like me. I still do that.
Do your mom's frugal habits annoy you?
No. Yeah. No, they don't. I've learned from the frugal habits and I'll probably take those into my own life and do them as well. I like them. They don't annoy me.
Excellent. Excellent. Because I'm not annoying. To some, I might be annoying. Hailey, there are about 15 different, how's college? How's college? Do you like college? How is college? How is your major? Favorite thing about college? Are you having fun? Make friends with your college teachers. How's college? Those are all the questions. Holy cow.
Wow.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about moving out so far is easily the freedom that I have. I will say lots of responsibility comes with that freedom, so...
Are you saying that with great power comes great responsibility?
You could say that that's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the freedom of, people are like, Hailey, let's go do this thing. I don't have to be like, okay, that sounds fun, but let me ask my parents first. It's just, yeah, let's do it. I got time.
Okay.
I love the freedom of it.
What about a major? For those that are not watching the video, that would be an eye roll that she doesn't have one yet. We're currently undecided.
I don't have one yet.
That is okay. Can I go on the record and say that is okay? Can we quit pressuring these young kids to figure out their entire life at 19? I feel very strongly about that.
I remember since 7th grade, they would take every single person from the class until we were seniors, and they'd bring them down to the counseling office and be like, so which of these classes interest you? As in college classes. It started from 7th grade and went all the way through until I graduated. And it changed every year because they kept the sheet and they were like, so do you still like these things? Do you want to change? I was like, why did I pick that? See, I don't like any of those things anymore. So I don't know. It changes. And I agree. I don't think there should be any pressure. Lots of kids do feel pressured to have a major though.
I know they do. They do. And I just think that's not it.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, if you're not watching the video version, I took a sip of my drink out of my Stanley cup. And I just want to mention it because I feel like I'm finally an influencer. It only took, how long has Stanley been around?
I think
Years.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a long while. I've never gotten one. I have one now. But listen, Hailey, I was recently accused of not being frugal anymore. I was. But can we talk? I just want to use a Stanley as an example. You can get Stanleys if you know the right people and you're willing to wash dirty stuff. We have 2 Stanleys right now. They were both free. They were both free. Stop accusing me of not being frugal anymore, okay? I like nice things and I like not paying for them. Listen, Hailey's roommate, this was hilarious. Hailey's roommate was using a Stanley as a flower vase.
Yeah.
Or is it vase? Either way, she was using it as that. And she was like packing up her stuff to take a trip. And she looked at these old flowers and she was like, oh, gross. And looked in it. There's mold on the inside.
There was mold in it, yeah.
And she was like, oh, nasty. I think I'm just going to throw this away. Like, I don't even want to. I can't even. And I was like, are you serious? Are you going to throw that away? And she was like, yeah, like I have all these other ones I like better. This color, I'm just going to toss it. And I was like, if you're just going to toss it, I'll just take it. And she was like, okay, great. Saves me the hassle.
So we just took it.
So we just took it and I washed it and sanitized it and ba-bow, free Stanley. Mm-hmm. So if you see a Stanley, like in any of my videos,
they're free.
Totes free. What up?
What up?
Hailey, next question. How are you so grounded? I know Hailey doesn't know what that means.
No.
So no, not like that. Not like that. Let me keep going. I wish my grown daughters had better self-esteem and worth. So where does your confidence come from? Is what we're getting at.
Wow. Okay. Number one, I've never gotten that statement or question before.
But to me, it's so obvious.
Interesting. Okay, here's what I'll say. For the good first half of high school, I really struggled with, like anybody else, who I am as a person, who I want to be, who I want to be around. I will say the people you surround yourself with greatly influence you. And my main issue at the beginning of high school is I surrounded myself with not the best people. In like middle of junior year, all the way to senior year, I found my people. I found the people that I could just be myself. I was comfortable. They loved me. I loved them. And we grew with each other and from each other. And I feel like that's the biggest thing is the people you surround yourself with. Also your habits. If you go to bed at a decent time, wake up early, try to work out, try to take some time for yourself every day, just you and your thoughts. I don't know, just good habits and good people. I feel like that's how I changed into finding who I am as a person.
I will echo what Hailey said. She went through this super interesting transition from the group of friends that I would say constantly let her down. Mm-hmm. They were super flaky, make promises and break them. And what I loved is that Hailey learned to create boundaries from the people she called her friends. And if they were going to continually hurt her, she was like, that's not it for me. And found people that wouldn't do that anymore and completely shifted friend groups completely for the last year and a half of high school, which was amazing. That group of kids was so great. And so I really, really love that for her. But I also want to say, as someone who didn't find my people in high school, is if you have kids who maybe are struggling and haven't found that, like myself, it's okay to not find your people in high school. There's a whole lot of life after high school. And I found mine later.
I will also say that I did start to find those people in high school, but moving out, I've started to find more of those people. There's so much more outside of high school, after high school. High school is so minuscule compared to the rest of life. And we make such a big deal about it.
What's your favorite thing about your mom?
She's my best friend. I don't know. I can talk to her about everything. We've talked about it in the last podcast. We have this trust.
And there's no wall.
Except for this microphone. I don't know what to do about it.
I tried to order a second one and it's not here yet.
Yeah, she's my best friend. I can trust her with everything. All of her advice and things that she tells me, I know is out of love, and it's just because she wants me to be better. If it's ever, not criticism, but if it's ever like, hey, here's a tip, or here's a tip, instead of taking it as, why are you...
Why are you like that?
It's just a phase. I love my mom. I always say that. I always say it to people. I love my mom. We're just really close. We're super close. Mm-hmm. We are very similar. Mannerisms, attitude about things. Everything you do for us, whether it's me or dad or the boys, everything you do is for us. It's because you love us. It's because you want us to be a better person. You're very selfless. Mm-hmm. And a great role model.
Not how I would have described myself. Great.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled that I come across as selfless.
She is. She is.
Next question. What are some ways you feel your parents prepared you for this season of life?
And all the pressure's really on me right now.
Well, it's an interview with you.
I remember the last year of high school, we had many little lectures, whether it was you or dad or you and dad, and me usually in tears. Because
I'm not looking good right now.
No, because I always came in crying because I was so overwhelmed with the future. What was I going to do in college? How was I going to be able to pay for things? It was just constant worrying in my head, and I'd always go to mom and dad. And you guys would say something different every time, but it was always something that would help me. So we just talked a lot, and that prepared me. We were very open. We talked a lot about all different kinds of things. I know this is really vague, but...
Yeah, that's pretty vague.
I know it's really vague, but it is what happened like the last year of high school. You guys made me comfortable enough that I could come to you with my worries and concerns. And then you also made me comfortable enough to face those worries and concerns after we talked about them. Good?
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you adjusting?
Just in general?
There's no specifics on this question.
Oh, gotcha. Adjusting to life?
Yeah, adult life.
I'm adjusting well. I definitely have had the first week of not being home.
The first day.
The first day. It was the first day.
That was a bad day.
That was a bad day. You guys had to like force me to go socialize.
That was a bad day. Okay, the day we dropped Hailey off. Hailey has never had a problem socializing, ever. Never had a problem making friends, never. She's the happy-go-lucky. Everybody like gravitates towards Hailey. It's like a moth to a flame, okay? And to watch her like be scared and timid and like retreat to her room and sulk on her bed and not like go talk to anybody, I was like, oh no. So Dave and I went and got lunch, I think, or something. And we were like, okay, you can unpack a little bit. We're gonna go out. And we went out a little bit. We came back and like we couldn't find Hailey and she wasn't answering her phone. And we were like, oh no. So we went to her room and I think you were sitting on your bed crying. And we were like, nope, not happening. So we pulled her out. I think you were probably not happy with us, but I was like, this will be very bad if this is how this goes. So we grabbed her and pulled her with us and we were like, you're going to go eat dinner. Let's go. And we went out. Another one of the questions is a dorm or apartment. It's more like a dorm with like a cafeteria kind of a thing. So we went out to the cafeteria, saw a group of kids that were also new that we had like slightly met earlier that day. And I just like pushed Hailey towards the group and I was like, go sit with them, get your plate of food, go sit with them. And they were amazing, those kids.
They were amazing.
And I knew that would happen. They were like, where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. This is where I'm from. And they just like got her and brought her into the group. And we knew from that moment that she would be fine. Mm-hmm. She just had to take the step. And we definitely shoved her off the ledge that day.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I remember when you guys like left for a second and I was sitting in my room. And do you ever have those moments in your life where you're just looking at yourself and you're like, how'd I get here? That was me. I was like, how'd I get here? What am I doing? It was so weird. It was so out of character for me. But I was genuinely like, I just want to go home. I don't want to see these people. I don't want mom and dad to leave. Like, I was so scared. Mm-hmm. And it was so not who I was. But you're right. Once you guys... I hated that you guys were like walking behind me when I had my dinner and they were like, go, go, like poking my back. And I was like, stop it. I don't want to.
You wanted to go sulk in your room.
I did, which isn't who I am. So thank you for pushing me. In the moment, I was not happy about it.
I was very worried to leave with her sulking in her room. I was very worried. Mm-hmm. And like, as soon as that group like embraced you at dinner.
Oh, they were so nice.
I was like, okay, now I can leave.
They were so nice. They were in the same boat I was like a week before. So they knew. They were all super nice. And I'm still friends with them to this day. And sometimes we do talk about our first days. Like everyone kind of has a rough first day. Mm-hmm. Because it's a huge transition. Going from living at home for 18, 19 years. And then all of a sudden you're on your own and you're like, what? No baby steps. You just kind of get out there.
Into the deep end.
Mm-hmm.
I love this question.
Is it what's our favorite Buffy episode?
No.
Oh.
What is something you've never told your mom? Oh, no. I feel like I know most of it.
I feel like you know everything. Like, she knows things that my best friends don't know. Because I tell you everything.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is really boring. Because I've never snuck out. I mean, if I ever do something like even a little bad, I tell you. Fun fact about Hailey, I suck at lying and the guilt hurts me. When I was a kid and, you'd sneak the cookies and mom would ask the question, who ate the cookies? It was me, I did it. It was always like that. So I genuinely cannot think. Maybe like cheating on a test.
Did you cheat on a test?
I did. It was a Spanish test. Because, okay, I remember now. This was like...
Don't take away her diploma.
Everyone's cheated on a test. I think it was junior.
Totally
Take away Christine's master's. Do you have a master's?
No, it was in high school.
Oh, in high school. Take away her diploma. Okay, it was Spanish class, sophomore year, I think. It was a Spanish test on a computer, and it was just like, sentence, fill in the blank with like what word it was, or this is the word, translate. So it would have been super easy. What's sad is I could have done it, but I wanted to get out early because once you finish, you could leave. And I just wanted to leave. And in the corner that sometimes the computer's like, do you want to autocorrect to English? In the corner. So I clicked yes, and then I took the whole test in English.
That's actually hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, that's something I've never told you.
Can't do anything about it now.
Did you know Andrew stole back a Rubik's Cube a teacher took from him? He told me about that the other day. It was like in middle school. It was in middle school, and Andrew loves the Rubik's Cubes so much, and he's good with them too.
Yeah, he is.
To a point where sometimes he'll become a distraction in class, so the teacher took it from him. And I think during lunch or recess or something, he went back in and stole it back.
Actually, I think I knew that.
You did know that?
Yeah. I thought that was really funny. Take the dang kid's Rubik's Cube and not everybody's phone. Hailey, have you ever wanted to get a tattoo?
No. Just because a lot of them are really cliche. Sorry. Hot take for a second.
Hot take.
A lot of people, well, my age now, that like, they turn, is it 18 that you can get a tattoo?
Mm-hmm.
Without parental consent.
Yep.
They turn 18, 19 in high school, and I swear every girl just gets the flower tattoo. It's a rose here, or a flower here.
Really?
Or, oh yeah.
Okay.
I see flower tattoos a lot.
All right.
And I just feel like they're kind of cliche. Just because everyone has them now. And also, I just feel like it wouldn't age well. You have...
You are right about that.
You have it, and then you just have it forever?
Pretty much.
Unless you get it removed. I don't know. I just don't want that kind of commitment, I guess.
That's fair. That's fair. Hailey, what's your favorite thing about your family?
I love that we can all do outdoor adventures together. Because those are my favorite memories of the family. It's just what we do. We all have the ability to go hiking. We all have the ability to go biking. And most of the trips that we do usually involve those things. And that's my favorite thing. I love bonding with the family outside while also kind of challenging ourselves. Mickelson Trail, Table Rock, Angel's Landing. Those are hard ones.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we're going to hike rim to rim this week.
That's the Grand Canyon.
That's the Grand Canyon rim to rim, north to south.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited.
I'm
also really nervous.
Tomorrow.
We leave tomorrow.
Do you miss your mom's cooking?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I've talked about this a lot already with Mom. I do miss it so much. And I knew before I moved out, I knew that I was already blessed to have her cooking, to have a mom that knows how to cook, that can teach me how to cook. You can still take things for granted, even if you know what you have. You just don't know what you have until it's gone. So moving out, the food was okay, but I was always just like, where are my air fried veggies? And like, where's my gumbo? No one can make gumbo like you can. Just saying.
Okay, if you had to go back in time for 1 week, what time and place would you go to?
Oh my gosh.
I love that question.
That's a good question. Oh Jeez. For 1 week?
Mhm.
This is my life, right? Or
Yes,
just
your
time
life.
frame?
Your life.
I'm thinking of trips we've done. So I almost want to say back to our Bryce Canyon trip.
Yes.
Because it was so amazing.
That trip was amazing.
Okay, I have 3. If I could go back to our Bryce Canyon trip and do it again, I would 100% would. Hawaii, Maui.
Mm-hmm.
But, back before
Before the fire.
Before all the fires. Really sad. Or when we used to live in Texas.
Okay.
Because I loved living in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my 3 times in my life.
Can't just pick one, can you?
Nope. My life's been too great.
Do you have a close relationship with your brothers, and do you wish you had a sister?
Yes.
Yes and yes?
Yes. Yes, I do have a close relationship with my brothers. I feel like especially since moving out, we've almost become closer. We don't fight as much. I feel like that happens with a lot of siblings, is once they move out, then the bond really tightens. Is that the word?
Mm-hmm.
Each of my relationship with brothers is different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll dance fitness martial with Ryan, but Andrew won't.
Poor Andrew.
If you don't know who fitness martial is, educate yourself.
He's hilarious. He's amazing.
Hilarious. And it's so fun. And then, yes, I've always wished I had a sister. Just that sister bond. I don't think there's anything like it. But I am closer to mom because I don't have a sister. So I'm not complaining. But if you could give me the choice of a sister, I'd 100% take it.
As far as the relationship with the brothers goes, Hailey's brothers adore her. They will do anything she wants, like anything. She is on a pedestal as far as they are concerned. I don't know that she knows that, but it is the truth. Okay, next question, Hailey. What does Christine do differently that other moms should consider doing?
The way you handle technology.
Oh, say more.
No smartphones till 16. Even then, I still think that's young. But I got mine at 16. No social media in high school, like at all. When you're in the house, no social media. Actually, just no social media at all. Let's just stick with that. Able to check the phone, not an invasion of privacy, but more just checking and maybe seeing if you're okay. If you can go into the phone and you can look through pictures and look through text, you should not be ashamed of any of that. I feel like a parent should 100% be able to look through a kid's phone. What else do you do? Oh, turn in phones at night.
Yeah, all technology gets turned
phones at night.
in. I enforce a strict bedtime for all ages. There's too many studies done on sleep to ignore, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, teenagers don't want to go to bed. I know that. Please, I'm a night owl by nature. But I also know how crucial it is for teenagers to get good sleep. Like, there's so much literature. There's so many studies. Like, you just can't ignore it. Getting to know your kids' friends. I thought I did that pretty well with Waffle Wednesday.
Yes. Oh my gosh. If you can incorporate Waffle Wednesday into your house, do it.
I always wanted to be the house where the kids came over to hang out. Like, that they would feel comfortable coming to my house. So I always make sure I have food and drinks and I'm welcoming. And what I know about teenagers is they're pretty unsure when they go into a new environment. They're not really sure how they're supposed to behave. They're not really sure how they're going to be received. And so to invite them in, call them by name, and help them feel comfortable as a host or hostess is really important. Like, that you enjoy having them in your home.
Yeah.
I tried to do that. I'm not great at it, but I tried.
You succeeded.
Thank you.
My friends love the Frugal Fit Mom.
Well, I love your friends. How are you such an amazing teenager?
Oh, gosh.
I feel like I'm answering that one.
Oh.
I feel like we got lucky. I feel like I just got lucky to have like such a special person in my house. It was like God's gift to me, gave me Hailey. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Fine.
That's sweet.
What was your favorite class in high school?
Favorite class in high school? I was in yearbook for a little bit there, and I loved yearbook. We used, is it Adobe?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we used Adobe, so I was able to learn a new skill. I learned patience with design, how the first, what's the word?
The first edit?
The first edit's never the final edit.
Mm-hmm.
Never. And it can get frustrating at times, but I feel like I learned lots of new skills in that class. And then also when you saw the yearbook at the end, you could see all your work that you'd done and you were like, oh, it's glorious.
It's glorious.
I also, actually my number one is the Lord of the Rings class that I took.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
That was amazing. Our school did a Lord of the Rings class. It counted as an English credit. And we just read all the Lord of the Rings books. And then we did projects with it. I love analyzing books. I'm a big English person. So I loved analyzing.
She did not get that from me.
No. I loved analyzing the books. I loved seeing the parallels between Tolkien's life and why and how he wrote Lord of the Rings. It actually has a lot to do with what happened in his own life. If you don't know, you should really look into it because it's pretty interesting. And then we watched some of the movies by the end, but it was so much fun. I loved it. Oh my gosh, the final project too. You had to pick your favorite character and then like do a visual aid about that character. And one of the guys chose one of the elves, I can't remember which one, and made elven bread and like wrapped it in this green paper so it looked like leaves, and we all tried some. He brought in elven bread. How cool is that?
That almost would have been better than what you did. Hailey's final project is my favorite thing I've ever seen in my life. Is it still your teacher's desktop picture?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. I chose Eowyn because she's a bad A.
Yeah, she is.
I love her so much. And what we did for my visual aid was it's so bad.
Very bad Photoshop.
We photoshopped my face on Eowyn's body, like the poster picture of her with like her sword, and she's like this. And I like emailed it to my teacher, and we have to show the whole class it. So she opened it up on her desktop first, and she just died laughing. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." She was like, "This is by far my favorite thing I've ever seen." She put it up on the projector. Everyone laughed at it, including me. It's really funny. And she's had it as her desktop for
like 2 years.
For 2 years. She's kept it like that. So anytime she like opens up her projector for any class, they see that.
Okay. What is your mom's most embarrassing habit?
Interesting.
Does she chew her toenails?
No.
No. Ew.
I was going to say one of your habits is picking your hair, but I also do that.
I actually don't do it that much anymore.
Good job.
It's the split ends, you guys.
I know. With my fresh cut, I don't have any right now. Embarrassing habits? I don't think you have any. And I'm not just saying that.
Probably just ask Dave. He'll know them better.
He probably just doesn't like when he's trying to be serious and we just joke about everything. But I like that because I joke with you.
Do you love sports like your parents do?
Mm-hmm. 100%. I love sports. I love watching them. I love playing them. And I'm really competitive too. We all are a little competitive.
Not all of us.
Not
Andrew's not.
Andrew's not. You and Dad are on the competitive side.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a family game night, if you guys don't know what Ticket to Ride is.
Hey, listen, I'm not the... Maymay's the one who lost it.
No, but I punched Andrew. Do you not remember
that's
that?
Right.
I punched Andrew when we were playing Ticket to Ride. You blocked my train!
Maymay flat out gave up.
Yes, she did.
She was so mad. Okay, what dish does your mom make that you miss having on a regular basis? You already said gumbo, so you can't say gumbo again.
That's kind of hard. So what's fun about your dishes is you don't, like, repeat a lot.
You know, if people watch my videos, they might think that
They might think that,
things.
But she really doesn't. I love zuppa toscana, and I don't feel like we've had that in a while.
I swear I make that twice a year.
Yeah.
And every time I make it, I film it for a video.
Zuppa toscana. Because you can just look up a copycat recipe.
She's right. I rarely repeat recipes. I'd say the most common things I make are taco salad, even still, once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Chili, once a month in the winter time only.
I love chili, though.
Gumbo 3 times a year. Like, I don't repeat anything.
No. I also love your chicken salad with the apples in it.
I haven't made that in years.
Exactly. And your pasta salad.
Which one?
You have multiple?
The one with the ranch? Like the cold one?
Yeah, a cold pasta salad.
I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
Maybe it's in one of your videos.
Okay, Hailey. Most unexpected expense living on your own?
Laundry.
Quarters, baby. Just bring in those quarters.
I've never kept quarters more in my life. I'd see one and be like, yes! Laundry money! Because the place... The place where I live, it is $6 to do my laundry. It is $3 for the washer and $3 for the dryer. And they are trashy too.
I remember that. I remember hoarding quarters. I get it.
I have a whole bag just full of quarters.
Okay. Does your mom ever go a little overboard on the clearance deals?
Well, okay, I will say yes, but I'm not complaining about it.
Mm-hmm.
I love the clearance deals as much as she does. I commend you on your clearance deals.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. What's the toughest thing about being away from your family?
I talked about in the last podcast when I was really sad when I was sick
Mhm.
because I didn't have you guys. I just think in simple terms, literally just the absence of you guys. It's because each member of the family brings something different to the table. So like Tyler brings something different, Mom brings something different, Dad brings something different. And being in your guys' presence makes me happy. So the absence of you is probably the hardest part.
Mm-hmm. That's all the questions for today. Hopefully after editing, this video is not as long as it looks to me right now on the recording. I did want to close out with a podcast recommendation from us to you. Hailey has just introduced me to the Second Date Update. It is hilarious. The only ones I've listened to so far are here's the premise. Okay, it's a radio segment and they just put it on podcasts basically, but this couple goes out. One of them really likes the other and they call in the radio show and they tell their side of the date that so-and-so's not calling me back. So the radio show calls the person they went on the date with. It's usually like 5 to 7 days later. And it's like, hey, you went out with Jenny and she really liked you. How did your date go from your end? So they tell their side of the story. And if they want to go out on a second date, the radio pays for it. Okay. That's the premise. The only ones I've listened to so far are women who like the men and the men aren't calling them back. I've been married a long time. Okay, I've been married for 20 years and I have learned a lot about just typical male behavior and how they date. And I'm telling you right now, what I know is if they're not calling you back, it's because they don't want to go out with you again. For whatever reason. There's definitely a reason, but every time these girls are like, oh, but it was this and it was this. And the guy doesn't call them back. And I'm like yelling at the podcast next to Hailey. And I'm like, they're not interested. Move on. And every time they call the dude and the dude tells his side, we're like, oh, yep, girl screwed up.
Yeah.
Yep, girl screwed up. Yep, doesn't want to go out with you. So I'm just saying, ladies, if he doesn't call you back, it's because he doesn't want to go out with you again. And like that hurts. Like the truth hurts. That's reality. So don't call a radio station. But it's hilarious.
But it's so funny. The hosts are so on point. I've been listening to them for like a year.
They are sharp. Like they're quick-witted. The hosts are everything. Like their comments, they're like my favorite listening to these hosts. It's so funny.
Because they can like underhandedly be like, you're kind of a crazy person.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
And the person on the phone doesn't get it.
They don't, it's almost like they don't realize they're being made fun of.
No, I don't think so.
But it is a wild ride.
Yeah.
Second Date Update. It is funny. Mm-hmm. It is very, very funny. Like if you want a chuckle.
It's just a fun, lighthearted.
Yeah, it's super short, 10, 15 minutes, super short, real funny. Put a smile on your face. Can recommend. Okay, Hailey, thank you so much for joining this podcast. I'll give you a break. You don't have to be on for a while. And we have to go because we have to go pack for the Grand Canyon now. So we are going to leave and we'll talk to you at the next episode.